In K-dramas, the same city Seoul can feel like a land of dreams, a lonely refugee, or a romantic escape depending on the story's genre. From hidden alleyways to bustling neighborhoods, every corner seems to tell a story. But how close are these portrayals to the soul that exists beyond the screen? In this project, I explore how these places are shown on screen with how they exist in real life. Looking at the lighting, camera angles, narrative context, and even environmental conditions like cleanliness and urban decay. Hi, I'm Diana. Today I'm visiting the Shinchan area, one of the filming sites often used to highlight the range of emotions between the main characters. K-dramas don't just tell stories. They transform real places into cinematic worlds filled with emotion, symbolism, and meaning. Every street, stairways, and corner become parts of the narrative, shaping how audiences around the world imagine Seoul. But what does this neighborhood really looks like beyond the drama? How much of what we see on screen reflects the everyday life of the city? Along the way, I also hear from a foreigner living in Seoul to understand how their experiences match or differ from the romanticized or dramatized version of this city. So right now, I'm with Ami, my new friend from Seoul. So Ami, can you introduce yourself?
Sofiati, and I am a second year student in Korean University.
Okay, so how long have you been living in Seoul?
I've been living in Seoul for about 2 years now.
Have you heard of the word K-drama before?
Yeah, I've heard the word K-drama before, and I am very familiar with it.
Do you like watching K-dramas?
Yes, I love watching K-drama, especially whenever I have break times or I just want to chill sometimes between class and stuff.
What is the K-drama you are currently watching and what is your favorite one?
I'm currently watching K-drama titled Spirit Figures, and it's a lightweight and heart-fluttering K-drama. And my favorite one would be The Good Bad Mother. It was like the most whenever I watch the drama, I've cried a lot. The most I've cried whenever I watch the drama, and then I still remember all the plot twists and stuff. But even I watched it like 2 years ago.
Have you ever had a moment that you feel like the main character in a K-drama?
Until now, I've never experienced like the heart fluttering character moment. Like whenever I roll past or whenever I just walking like at the streets in Seoul, I feel like I've become the main character in the drama. So yeah.
Does it feel different living here in Seoul compared to what you saw in K-drama?
It's not that different because I think the places in Seoul are perfectly captured in the K-drama, but I think the environment or the vibe might be not that different, but a little bit different from the drama. And also, for whoever that think actors or actress like just walking randomly around Seoul, yeah, it's not the same as the K-drama.
I really love your K-dramas. If you have watched them, you can give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't, you can be an X since you're here. Okay. The first one, Lovely Runner. The next one, Record of You. Okay, the last one, Pink Watermelon. Okay. Did you know that this area actually appeared in all of the drama I just mentioned?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you want me to show it to you?
Yeah, sure.
So let's go. Our first filming site is located just beside the Yonsei University campus. After passing through this tunnel, the stairs appear on the right. An ordinary set of steps that most people would walk past without a second thought. But in Lovely Runner, these stairs become a memorable emotional space. In second episode, the female lead finds the second male lead sitting here alone with wounds on his face and hand. She sat beside him and gently applies cream to his injuries, creating a quiet moment of connection between them. The scene was filmed late at night, with no pedestrian in the background, giving the space an intimate and almost cinematic stillness. Based on their school uniforms and the thick vines growing along the wall, the shoot likely took place in spring or summer. Interestingly, the wall beside the stairs and the traffic mirror shown in the drama appear perfectly clean with no sign of vandalism. But in real life, as you can see, there is scribbling on the wall. I can't quite tell what it says, but it's probably something like no parking or no littering. And while we tried to recreate the scene, there were lots of pedestrian and vehicle passing by, since the street we're filmed on is actually a main shortcut in this area. So in reality, this street is much busier than the quiet, idealized version portrayed in the drama. The next location is the convenience store right in front of the stairs. The 7-Eleven in Shincheon appears in a late-night scene from Record of Youth, a romance and melodrama. The main leads are walking home after dinner, sharing their worries over drinks when a sudden rainstorm begins. Laughing and splashing through the rain, they run towards this convenience store, a brief but intimate stop on their journey. In real life, the store is bright, puzzling, and full of noise, but on screen it transforms into a cozy and romantic haven with the sound of rain adding a soft cinematic atmosphere. Through clever camera angles, lightings, and framing, an ordinary convenience store becomes a space filled with emotion and storytelling power. This contrast highlights how K-dramas can take everyday locations and turn them into memorable settings. By adjusting lightings and sound, the production turns a simple 7-Eleven into a space of comfort and connection, showing how filming techniques can shape the way we emotionally experience a place. Shincheon Platform, located just a 4-minute walk from the 7-Eleven, is well known to K-drama fans as the Gravity Tunnel. On screen, it looks almost surreal, a space that reflects the characters' inner struggles and transformation. In Twinkling Watermelon, the main lead runs away from home and has nowhere to sleep for the night, so he ends up in this tunnel. In the scene, the tunnel is filled with homeless people, and one of them offers the main lead some newspaper to use as a blanket on a cold, windy day. In reality, the tunnel is dimly lit and can feel unsafe to pass through at night if you are alone. It has the kind of atmosphere where you might imagine a crime could occur. But don't worry, there are no homeless people living here, and many pedestrians actually pass through since it's located near the Line 2 station exit. It's fascinating how filming style can make a place appear lonely and dangerous, even though it's just a normal pedestrian tunnel in everyday life. Now walking here, the tunnel feels completely different. The wall full of gravity makes it feel raw and real. Yet that contrast makes it even more meaningful. It reminds me that behind every scene is a real piece of soul. While we were in the area, we decided to visit Yonsei University as well, since it often appears as the school building in many high school themed K-dramas. The campus is frequently used as a filming location because of its classic architecture, wide walkways, and useful atmosphere, which make it easy for viewers to imagine the characters' school life. As we walked around, we also wondered when filming usually takes place here, because during the day, the campus is full of students everywhere. It's interesting to think about how the production team managed to keep the area quiet and empty enough to shoot scenes. Probably they might film during semester breaks, late at night, or early in the morning to avoid disrupting classes and student activity. Visiting these locations has given me a deeper appreciation for how K-dramas shape our perception of Seoul. Even hidden or ordinary corners of the city can be transformed into spaces that feel meaningful and memorable on screen. This project reminds me that what often feels magical or cinematic begins with ordinary, lived-in spaces. And it's the creativity of filmmakers that bring these streets, alleys, and tunnels to life for audiences everywhere. This is Cinematic Seoul, a city that's not just filmed but felt. Here are some behind-the-scenes clips showing how lively Shincheon really is. A busy neighborhood on a weekday filled with pedestrians and vehicles, full of noise and everyday city life. It's interesting to compare this real-life energy to the version we see in K-dramas, where Shincheon is often framed as a quiet, romantic, or emotionally heavy, depending on the scene. Filmmakers choose when and how to show the area to match the character's feeling rather than the true rhythm of the city. And during autumn, Shincheon becomes even more beautiful. The streets are covered with colorful leaves, and gentle gusts of wind send petals falling across the sidewalks, creating a warm and picturesque atmosphere that feels almost cinematic even without a camera.